Infamously dubbed Kerala's mouth of death, in recent years, Muthalapozhi has frequently made headlines due to series of tragic incidents. Over 70 fishermen have lost their lives at this site. In 2024 alone, more than a dozen fishing boats capsized at the point where the river meets the sea, emphasizing the perilous condition faced by the local fishing community. Last July, en route to Vokla Beach, I took a detour to visit Muthalapozhi, located about 20 kilometers away. The journey was captivating, traveling along a road flanked by the sea and beaches on one side and the river on the other. Enjoying the breathtaking views, I eagerly anticipated witnessing the site of the ongoing conflict. As we approached Muthalapozhi, the sea appeared alarmingly close to the houses on the shore. The air was thick with salt, and in front of small homes, salted fish were laid out to dry for sale. A beautiful Mother Mary church stood out as a landmark, and locals were busy preparing for its festival. Yet there were no visible signs indicating the Muthalapozhi portrayed in the news. Finally, we beheld the encompassing beauty of the area, known for both its allure and its tragedies, reminiscent of Helen of Troy. The Muthalapozhi harbour, the fish market, and the scenic view of the Muthalapozhi Perandura bridge, where the fresh water of the Vamanapuram river meets the salty water of the Arabian Sea, all unfolded before us. A port, a harbour, breakwater, bridge, fish market, estuary, coconut grove, a river, sea and beach, all converged in one location. Few places in the world can boast such a confluence of natural and man-made element in a single frame. Muthalapozhi, situated in Perandura village, now attracts hundreds of tourists drawn by its vibrant beauty. Notably, the controversial parallel breakwaters, constructed across the estuary and perpendicular to the sea, stood out. We walked to the endpoint of the 420-meter long northern breakwater, while the southern breakwater stretched 480 meters. To the east of the southern breakwater, construction work was visible in the distance. Fish boats occasionally zoomed past, heading out to sea or returning with no visible signs of tension. On the beach, a coconut grove provided shade for children playing football and a few tourists savoring the natural beauty. I wondered, where was the conflict? Where were all the tragic incidents? Upon returning home, I conducted further research. Videos of mishaps surfaced, shedding light on the dangers faced by the fishing community. Kerala has 41 west-flowing rivers and 3 east-flowing rivers. The confluence of these west-flowing rivers with the Arabian Sea forms 23 estuaries, Muthalapozhi being one of them. It is also one of the leading fish landing areas in South Kerala, supporting the livelihood of many fishermen from Veli to Idava. Muthalapozhi is often in news due to unsafe fishing ventures, boat capsizing incidents, and continuous protests over the failure to dredge the harbour as scheduled. Fishermen allege that the government has not fulfilled its promise to ensure safety. The bottleneck at the harbour, allegedly caused by the unscientific construction of breakwater, has been identified by fishermen as the primary cause of the accidents. This flawed construction has led to turbulent waters at the harbour mouth, making navigation perilous. The breakwater at Muthalapozhi was primarily constructed to support fishermen and control coastal erosion. It is a wall-like structure made of rocks and tetrapods, built to make the inlet perennial and facilitate safe navigation, especially during winter season. However, the project has faced serious execution and safety issues. Before construction, the estuary was treacherous due to strong current, shifting sandbars, and rough seas. The breakwater aimed to stabilize the estuary mouth and prevent its shifting, create a calm navigable channel, and enable the development of a harbor supporting the local development. Despite intended benefits, the breakwater has been criticized due to frequent accidents and fatalities linked to poor design, improper sediment management leading to siltation, and there are claims that the design did not adequately consider natural tidal and wave patterns leading to unpredictable currents. A 2015 study in the International Journal of Engineering Research and Technology titled Hydrodynamic Investigations on the Shoreline Changes Due to Construction of Breakwaters at the Muthalapozhi Inlet of Kerala coast states that initial breakwater length led to heavy siltation and choking of the entrance. This prompted re-engineering studies which recommended extending the structure. The report concluded the breakwaters were found to be effective in training the river mouth and trapping littoral sediments, but the tendency of bypassing sand over a period of 15 to 20 years is a concern. Long-term solutions are cost-intensive and require extensive studies. In 2016, for Viridian Project's 2,950-meter long breakwater, 7 million tons of granite were deposited in the sea. Due to a shortage of rock, the Adani Port authorities sourced materials from quarries in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, requiring a temporary barge loadout facility and transit stockyard at Muthalapozhi Harbour. Vizhinjam Port is 39 kilometers away from Muthalapozhi. As part of the Memorandum of Understanding (MOU), it signed with Kerala's Harbour Engineering Department in 2018. Adani Port authorities were obliged to clear the accumulated sand. The agreement primarily granted Adani Port permission to dismantle the northern portion of the southern breakwater of the Muthalapozhi harbour to construct a loadout facility. This facility was intended to store the rocks that the company transported in barges from various places in Kerala and Tamil Nadu to construct the breakwaters of the Vizhinjam Port. According to news reports, Adani Port has failed to uphold its end of the agreement and later claimed it no longer needed the Muthalapozhi facility to transport stones as the construction of breakwater in Vizhinjam is nearly complete. According to the DTE Down to Earth report of July 2021, on its part, Adani has blamed Saikol Tokte and the Kerala government for the dredging work having not been taken place in the last 4 years. According to reports, in October 2024, the government has initiated a 177 crore development project proposing the construction of a 425-meter breakwater to enhance safety and accommodate more fishing vessels. This project, approved under the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, aims to mitigate the impact of previous unscientific constructions and reduce the frequency of accidents. As of today, May 25, 2025, the update is that the pre-qualified bids for construction of breakwater has been opened and constructions are expected to commence shortly. Dredging activities crucial for maintaining a navigable channel has been halted due to protests and contractual issues. Dredging work is set to resume. The fishing community has expressed skepticism regarding the effectiveness of temporary measures like sandbar removal, emphasizing the need for permanent solutions. Protests have highlighted the urgency of addressing safety concerns and ensure the livelihood of fishermen. According to a new Indian Express report of 21st March, the government is spending around 10 crore annually for dredging activity at Muthalapozhi. As per Times of India report on Sunday, May 18, as protests over halting dredging work at Muthalapozhi ended following successful talks between the agitator and the district administration. The dredging will begin on Monday. No news in the past week shows that the dredging work is in progress. The job of a fisherman is to hunt for fish in the deep sea, a task that only traditionally skilled fishermen can perform. The government's responsibility is to facilitate their journey to sea and support the sale of the catch. Their urgent demand is for a functional dredging machine to maintain sea depth of 5 meters. 3 weeks have passed since the Vilnius port inauguration, and fresh protests have erupted at Muthalapozhi by fishermen. There seems to be no end to their woes. Ports will be constructed and disappear one day. The new ports will come at lucrative locations. Click on the post to read more about the possible existence of a port in Niranam in Pathanamthitta, Kerala, in India. The Greeks are believed to have traded there, and St. Thomas reached Niranam via the Niranam port, and now the place is an inland area. Fishermen are not just economic contributors, they are part of India's soul. From retrieving Shakuntala's ring from the belly of a fisherman in Mahabharata to rowing against the current to save Keralites in 2018 deluge, their contributions are profound. Four of Jesus' disciples were fishermen. Their strengths and traditions must be honored. It is the government's duty to listen to their voices, uphold their dignity, and accelerate implementation of promised safety measures, especially continuous dredging at Muthalapozhi.